Alright, so people used to have dreams, right? Like real dreams. Like people wanted to be movie stars, so they'd spend all night taking acting classes, or they'd spend their whole weekend serving city council to become a senator. But now, all anyone wants to do is become a crypto millionaire or become a TikTok influencer. Like, what happened? When did everything turn to shit? Like, you can't even be yourself in this generation anymore. It's impossible. Social media has genuinely altered Gen Z's brains to now where all they want to do is become an influencer and do the things they see on TikTok. And frankly, I'm sick of it. Every good structure in society, good structure, like dating or wanting to be successful, Gen Z's decide, nah, I don't want it anymore. And if you don't believe me yet, let's talk about it. Let's start with dating. The whole dating scene has been completely turned upside down and flipped around. Like, a relationship used to be between the two people in the relationship, right? But now it's almost like what matters the most is how good your relationship looks on your social media story. It's like we've raised a generation of kids that's so insecure and cares so much what other people think that they're more willing to post their girlfriend on their birthday than to actually take care of her. It's literally become a popularity contest. It's literally how good can I make my relationship look online. It's not how good it is in reality, it's just when I post a story, how good can I make us look as a couple. So relationships are fucked, but what's even funnier is that Gen Z, to solve this problem, have said, okay, well, we're just not gonna date each other then. We're gonna hang out all the time, we're gonna hook up, we're gonna go on dates, but we're not gonna call them dates, it's just two people who happen to go to Jack in the Box at the same time. We'll be with each other through thick and thin, we'll be your number one supporters, but we're not gonna put a label on things. We're just talking. It's like social media's made everything so fake that we've completely lost our connection to intimacy. A relationship used to be between the two people, but now there's this whole culture of National Boyfriend's Day, happy 7 months and 13 days anniversary, happy, oh, my girlfriend spent 45 minutes doing her makeup, so here's a picture of her drinking her matcha on my story culture. Anything except actually caring for one another. Anything society deems as remotely important, they decided that it's worth broadcasting your relationship to the whole wide world. Like before this, when couples would fight, they would just argue and then talk about it when they're both calm and then find a way to resolve it and come back stronger than ever. Now it's, oh, well, you're mad I have an OnlyFans? Oh yeah? Well, I'm not posting you for national brunette boyfriends who like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and have a bad relationship with their mother day. Some people will view this as totally unrealistic. But some of you actually have this opinion towards relationships, so if this is you, stop it, please. The world will thank you. Now something I want to talk about is long distance relationships. But before I even get to talking about that, I want to ask a genuine question, like a serious question I have, which is, before we had iPhones, did long distance relationships even exist? Before there were iPhones, before we got desensitized to FaceTiming our partners every night and always receiving a good morning text, like, how did people communicate? Like, what, did they even do it? Like, how did we know what was going on? How did we know? Like, if Margaret was secretly fucking the wheat farmer next door, like, did you have to take your carriage down to her village and find out for yourself? Or did you have to write a strongly worded pigeon carrier message and give it to her? Like, how did you know what was going on? This long distance relationship has to be a new thing. There's no way people talk to each other before phones. How would you even do it? It seems like this whole long distance relationship culture started with Gen Z. And to their credit, it's freaking working for them. It seems like nowadays 1 in every 3 relationships is long distance and somehow working out. So I guess it's just a shame that we got this great cultural development that's clearly working out at the same time we got Megan Thee Stallion. Which actually brings me to my next point, which is how social media is killing this generation. So as I've said, before 2024, people had genuine aspirations. People wanted to become pro athletes or scientists or even the US president. Now, it just feels like everyone wants to sell you their dropshipping course or convince you to buy their crypto. We've somehow taken all of these big, honorable professions and turned them into a few oversaturated industries where no one knows what they're really talking about, but they'll be sure to sell you a course convincing you they know everything and that they will make you rich. The rise of people like Andrew Tate, Andrew Eubanks, and Andy Elliott are all pushing the guys in this generation to all think and act a certain way. In fact, I think I figured it out. Just, if your name is Andrew, you're the problem. Just don't go outside, ever. But seriously, if you're a guy and you want to fit into this generation, you have like 3 options. Number 1, you have to go to the gym every day and make it your whole personality. Number 2, you have to trade cryptocurrencies all day and look at the charts of Shiba Coin and Dogecoin and then make an online course about it. Or 3, spend all your time looking at yourself in the mirror, mewing to look smacks. It's preposterous, but it's the exact same thing for women. If you're a woman and you want to fit into this generation, you better be listening to Sexy Red on repeat all the time. You better be wearing your Kim K Skims, right? And posting it on Instagram. And extra credit, you know what, if you have an OnlyFans. It's like there's some factory everywhere mass producing Gen Z kids, and the quality assurance checklist has like 3 things on it. Shake your ass to a TikTok dance, listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, and only follow the trends you see on social media. Where are the role models? Like back in the day, people used to look up to these masculine and competent figures who would lead you to do a better life. They look up to great people like, I don't know actually, Poseidon or someone, but they had great people to look up to. But now it just feels like the people who say the most controversial things or have the least respect for human decency, or even worse, can piss off the most people in a short amount of time, are the people who are constantly getting pushed to the top of the algorithm. Like, I can't even open Instagram anymore. It's all just rage bait and thirst traps, and I can't even do it. It's killing my brain cells, but these Gen Z kids are eating it up. I beg you, Gen Z, please use like 5 brain cells to not subscribe to all of this nonsense you're seeing on social media. Don't sell people your online course, don't shake your ass to a TikTok dance, and don't try to think you can make money by pissing people off on the street. It's not gonna work out for you. And even if you are getting a little money or a few subscribers, you're giving up your humanity instead. You're literally selling your soul to piss people off. Just don't do it. Just try to be a good person and rise above all this stuff you're seeing on social media. It's only gonna go away in the next 3 years. I'd like to take a second to thank this video's sponsor. Today, this video's sponsor is Common Sense. You know, in this generation, I think we need one less product that some company is paying to advertise. Instead, I think we need leaders and people who are willing to rise above all the things they're seeing on social media and not succumbing to this terrible generation. I think that we need people who are going to be honest and tell people how to be the best versions of themselves, and even more importantly, good people. So please, if you are a person who is sick of this generation and want to be the best version of yourself, please hit the subscribe button down below. So consider subscribing to find out how to navigate through a generation full of lies and misinformation. Thank you for watching this paid advertisement. Back to the video. So maybe I'm being too dramatic. Maybe I'm just blowing this all out of proportion and that it's all in my own head. Maybe this generation isn't so bad after all. Sure, some good things might be disappearing, like intimate relationships or having ambitions to do something greater than yourself, but it's not all bad, right? Wrong. I think this generation is on the edge of causing irreversible damage to not just themselves, but to society as a whole. If we don't get people to wake up, and wake up now, we are going to keep riding this wave of destruction until it's too late, until there's no more of us. Let's talk about the future. I'll admit it, at this point in time, not everything is bad, but I'm not concerned about how things are right now as much as I'm concerned about what happens if we continue on this trend into the future. We've already normalized cancel culture. We already can't even voice our opinions and speak our minds without fear of being deplatformed. And also being assertive or traditionally masculine is under fire every single day. Like, I feel like I can't even hold a door for a woman anymore without people saying, oh, she can do it herself, or that I'm being misogynistic by not letting her open it. I'm genuinely worried, guys. I know a lot of this video is for comedic effect, but look, if you're in your 20s right now, you probably got your first iPhone in like middle school or something. Look at Gen Alpha after Gen Z. They're getting their phones in like first grade. I see people in restaurants scrolling through TikTok, watching Trend Twins edits. We're cooked. I truly believe that if we don't address the effect that technology and social media is having on these younger generations, we are gonna burn ourselves down far before climate change will. And let me be clear, I'm not anti-technology. I'm not even really anti-social media. The video you're watching right now is uploaded on social media right now. I'm not against it, but I think that the more technology becomes integrated with our daily lives, the more important it is to retain our ability to think for ourselves, to be individuals and not just do things because everyone else is doing it. That's a bad reason. That's a stupid reason. And when everyone is doing stupid things and following it for stupid reasons, it's going to lead to very bad outcomes. And look, I'm no exception. I like to fit in, but I know deep down that my own opinions, my own views of the world, and the things I want to do are going to guide my actions far more than any social media trend is going to. The problem isn't that we've added more technology. I work in AI myself. The problem is when we let it replace critical thinking. Please guys, just think about the choices you make before you make them. It's not that hard. Don't do steroids because your favorite gym influencer is on gear. Don't drop out of high school because Iman Ghazni did it and he ended up being a successful dropshipper. Even if you do make those choices, do it because it's something that you want to do and feels like it's fitting for you, not because it's a trend that people are doing it on social media. So to wrap up everything I'm talking about, Gen Z is fucked, or more specifically, Gen Z is going to be fucked if we don't address that this social media culture is tearing apart all of the good structures in society that are holding us together. Forming intimate relationships, being honest, being a good person, and accepting different viewpoints. All of these things are being torn apart through social media, and while it's not too late yet, if we let this keep going at the rate that it's going, we are going to be in really big trouble. Put the reels down. You don't need to watch another rage bait compilation or another thirst trap. You need to help. It isn't too late yet, but everyone needs to start thinking as an individual and not as a collective. So if you're sick of all the shenanigans this generation is pulling over our heads, please hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, hitting the like button and commenting about something you heard in this video is a great way to help me out. I just really hope that everyone remembers to think as an individual and to make good choices with their life and not let social media take it all over. But with that guys, thank you so much for making it this far, and I'll see you next time.